Honorable Jason Gale, MLA for Brooks Strathmore, Mayor of Brooks, Mark Shields, honored judges, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Michael L., and I will be your host this evening. To start, I would like to tell you a little bit about why we have the very first ever Let's Make a Pitch. In late April of this current year, our town administrator, Dwight Stanford, attended an economic development seminar conference. And one of the workshops was held, and he was part of the workshop. And there was various groups that were made up of 6 people each. And what the group had to do was to prepare an enhancement to a community, to a fictitious community. There were 6 people in each group, and Dwight Stanford's group was successful. They made the best pitch. Each person in that group qualified for $500 that they could bring back to their community and use it for enhancement in their community. From this idea that occurred at this economic development conference was what you see here tonight. Let's make a pitch. This community came together and supported the idea, and we thank the individuals, the business people, and the businesses that have sponsored what we're doing here tonight. Because of the people and the businesses listed in the program, this $500 went from $500 to $10,000. And we'd like to thank the Chinook Credit Union, Mr. Brett Wilson, Mr. Ron Renault, Magnum Cementing Services, Ms. Bernice Bland, Mr. Dwight Stanford, Mr. Alberta, Dr. Patel, the Strathmore Times, Mr. Reg McRae, EPCOR, Scobies, and Talisman Energy for making this event possible. Tonight, we are fortunate to have the opportunity to celebrate our community. We're going to have a little fun, and we're going to dream big. One of the groups tonight will receive a check, and it will be presented to them, and the check will be in the amount of $10,000. And this $10,000 will be used to enhance our community. And just so you all know, plans are already being discussed for next year's Let's Make a Pitch. At this time, I'd like to introduce our judges. Mr. Beard Beekman. Beard grew up on a dairy farm and learned very early in life, the benefit of hard work. He earned his engineering degree from the University of Alberta. He has worked in oil field cementing for over 20 years. Mr. Beekman is the owner of Magnum Cementing Services Operation Limited, with its head office here in Strathmore. Beard believes in a sense of community, supporting local endeavors and creating opportunities for people to succeed. He and his family have called Strathmore home for over 15 years. We are proud to have him here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Beard Beekman. Mr. Ron Renault. Ron is the president of Rencore Developments, Inc., a private real estate company specializing in the development, leasing, management, and ownership of retail properties in Alberta. Ron has over 37 years of experience in the shopping center industry and has developed over 8 million square feet of retail projects in Canada. To name a few: Crowfoot Crossing, Royal Oak Centre, Red Deer Mall. Mr. Renault is involved in development within Strathmore, and we are happy to have him with us here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Renault. I tried to write an introduction for Mr. Brett Wilson. And I thought I'd done a good job until I was asked if what I had written was okay. Brett wants me to tell you what I know about him. If I tell you all the good things that I know about him, we won't have time for Let's Make a Pitch. But I will give you a few. I read his book, Beautification Success. He admits his mistakes and tells you all about himself. Very rare for a writer to do this. His candor is refreshing. Brett contributes to many worthwhile causes around the world, and you never know which cause he is actually the driving force behind. He makes significant contributions in our community, and you and I never know, in a lot of cases, when he's involved. He knows the value of trust and believing in people, and sees their potential, and encourages them to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brett Wilson. And I don't know whether or not the groups have been told who goes first, but I do have a list. And our first group up that is going to make our pitch is the plus 55 games.
Test, it works. My name is Bruce. I represent the Strathmore, Alberta Summer Games Committee. My team of members is here. They're about to demonstrate pickleball very shortly. And then you're going to see why we need courts in Strathmore. Very shortly, Josh and Kingsley, can you get up there? The Summer Games are being held in 2016, July 16th to 19th. We need pickleball courts. Tonight's presentation is why we need pickleball courts. Pickleball is a new emerging sport that has become very popular and can be played with different groups and ages, as you can see here. This is the older crowd. The only things currently available are their schools, and they're only available in the wintertime. Unfortunately, the community cannot access them in the summer. Pickleball is being at an event at the Strathmore Summer Games, and this is for the first time ever. Having courts in our community will provide a place for people to practice, get ready for zones, and a chance to qualify for the games. The courts will also leave a legacy behind when the games are complete. It can be used for tournaments to promote community involvement and participation. They will bring people from other communities to play pickleball and showcase what Strathmore has to offer. Pickleball is now included as part of the physical education curriculum. Having courts will provide a place for students to play outdoors. After watching this display of pickleball, who in the crowd agrees that we need a place to play pickleball in Strathmore? Why pickleball courts in Strathmore are a good idea? Community enhancement, revitalization, and sustainability. Thank you, boys. Good job. Rest. We'd be in a pickle if they had heart attacks. The Society would like to build 4 to 6 new outdoor pickleball courts in Strathmore. There are 3 possible locations that we have come up with. Between High Ho and the Kinsman Lake, there's a beautiful flat spot for the Town of Strathmore. That would be ideal. Once you finish your pickleball game, go to the park and have a picnic. Swim, have fun, fish. At the north end of the driving range of the golf course, we must discuss with the board of directors, of course, which I've been a part of at one time, but that would be an ideal spot. The existing tennis courts just over here would be the most ideal spot, and you'll find out later. Adding to the existing tennis courts would mean adding 8,000 square feet to the south end, which would produce a room for 6 courts. Only 3 walls of fence would be required, and pavement there. The pavement is there, there's no prep. Pickleball courts are 20 by 44. both for singles and double play. It's ideal to allow adequate space on the ends and sidelines for movement. For this reason, they recommend that the courts be 22 by 56. That's a lot of land. It's 8,000 square feet that's required. 4 courts, this is what blew me away. We got a quote from Calgary, 118,000 to 128,000. 6 courts, 171 to 180. I know if we went to the tennis courts, those prices would be in half. If we just added to the tennis courts. The above numbers include construction, supply, and install the base, asphalt, fence, plexi-pave, colored surface, nets, and posts. Does not include landscaping or rehab around the site. If we're at the tennis courts, we wouldn't need site preparation or pavement because it's there. And we wouldn't have to worry for landscaping around the outside. If things fall apart, nothing happens with our fundraisers, we need approximately $10,000 to produce 2 courts on the existing tennis courts. We need $1,500 for lines on the tennis courts for pickleball, $1,200 for portable nets, and $7,000 to fix the tennis court surface and fences. How will the project get done? The committee of members and staff at Strathmore, Alberta Summer Games will be responsible for completion of the project by working with the Town of Strathmore to secure an appropriate location, securing and working with the developers and suppliers necessary to complete the project. Where will the funds come from? Let's make a pitch grant. If we're lucky tonight. Or successful, sorry. If we're lucky. Society is also applying for the New Horizon grant for $25,000. Also looking at other sponsorship options and opportunities. Funding awarded will be determined which option is available: new outdoor pickle courts or refitting the existing tennis courts. In summary, pickle courts provide a place for people of all ages to participate in something that keeps you active and promotes a healthy lifestyle. We need that here. The courts provide a place of practice for people considering participating in zones and qualifying for the 2015 Summer Games. The courts also provide a recreational facility for the town of Strathmore. After the games, the courts will be left as a legacy for the community to use, an opportunity to produce or host pickleball tournaments. And finally, the courts will benefit the schools as they would have a place for students to play pickleball outdoors on a regular basis, before and after school. Thank you for your time.
Do you need these pickleball courts to compete to win the hosting of the summer games?
We've already got the summer games.
We got the summer games.
So was it a condition then of that to supply pickleball courts?
The pickleball court will be in the schools as it is right now, but most of the people who play pickleball don't play outdoors.
So you're not in pickleball? Yeah, courts.
You can use the schools, yeah.
Oh, yeah, over.
Are all of the courts presently in schools, and how many people play it now?
They play on badminton courts in schools right now.
So the issue is with it being in schools, people that play that aren't school children can't play over the summer because the schools aren't open.
Right now, it's part of the curriculum.
Are there any other courts now? None.
No.
Our plan.
You know, that's
I firmly believe if we expanded the existing tennis courts, we could come around $70,000 to $80,000 for 6 courts using the existing asphalt.
How many people are active in the sport now? Do you have a sense of that?
The people that come from down south, snowbirds is huge. It's the fastest growing senior sport in the United States. And it's every tournament that's been sponsored here has been widely successful. So you've got a market, I'm sure.
How many potential pickle athletes do you guys foresee in this Strathmore?
At least 100.
At least 100? Okay. And is there the ability to utilize it for other sports other than tennis? If courts go go ahead.
It would probably
Is it
be best
multi-purpose?
suited in a tennis court, just because there's the existing nets and
Right.
asphalt.
Are there any other,
Permanent walls, right? But you can't.
Chain link.
You can't. Sorry, chain link is permanent to me in the context that you'll have posts and chain link out. You can't multi-purpose a tennis court, one or the other.
No, you can use it for tennis or pickleball.
Both.
It's big enough.
Yeah.
Use the singles lines on tennis.
are there any grant opportunities potentially, or?
We are applying for the grants. We're applying for the New Horizons grant.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, stand up and belt it out, speak it back.
We're applying for the New Horizons grant. Well, that's $25,000 grant, so we're applying for that. And then I'm also looking at other grants with the 2015 Strathmore Summer Games. So we do have some other grants working at as well. But the $25,000 isn't quite enough, so we wanted to combine the dollars to do the pickleball courts.
Is this meant to be a situation where you can have two courts, you can expand to 4, you can expand to 8? Or are you talking to the town about securing enough land that?
We're asking for the world, and we hope we just get a small town.
Do you really want 2 to 4 courts?
4 would be nice. Or minimum. 6 would be.
4 to 8.
No, 4 would be good.
Okay. 10. Our next group that's going to make their pitch is the Strathmore Library.
Good evening. I'm Rachel DeHughes, and I'm the Director of Library Services at the Strathmore Municipal Library.
And I'm Wanda Reinhold. I am of Reinhold Productions. I'm with the Film and Theater Company, and I'm the designer of this project we're going to be talking about this evening. Imagine.
A community arts project that generates money for the revitalization of Strathmore. It draws visitors and residents to downtown. It values art and artists, and it unites the community towards a common goal. Imagine a project that generates $26,000 in income, not including donations. Half of this money would go to artists, and the other half would be reinvested for the beautification of the town of Strathmore. Imagine a lasting arts project that anyone can be involved in creating. You can purchase a piece, create a piece, spread the word, volunteer, or donate. Imagine a beautiful point of interest that boosts town pride, a civic building that stands out and truly represents the community. We are looking for $10,000 for startup costs for the creation of a unique puzzle mural to be mounted on the southeast side of the Lambert Center building where the library is. This mural would face Kinsman Park of the downtown. It would be 10 feet by 13 feet, and it would be made up of 1-by-1 pieces. These pieces would be created by as many local artists as want to be involved. Each piece will depict a unique theme relating to Strathmore, but together the pieces will create a cohesive whole that celebrates Strathmore's history and our key industries. Community members can purchase a piece individually, as families, as friends, businesses, organizations. And for $200, they get to collaborate with the artist, deciding what the theme of their piece is going to be. $100 from each piece goes to the artist, and the other 100 goes into the fund for further beautification products for Strathmore. This mural would be a community piece that everyone can be a part of and everyone can enjoy, that offers everyone in Strathmore the opportunity to invest in beautification of our town. The project will promote local art and invest in local artists, which is critical if we care about the cultural vitality of Strathmore. But the economic model will generate funds that will enhance Strathmore for years to come. This mural would be a very visible and important step in the vision for Strathmore's revitalized downtown. The piece could be a catalyst for more collaborative art and beautification projects. It will bring together artists, organizations, and individuals in a unique way, uniting them towards a common cause. Ultimately, this project will demonstrate how large-scale collaboration in the town of Strathmore can make Strathmore a more vibrant and attractive place to live. There's the finished product, a little bit smaller scale. Thanks for hearing us out today. Do you have any questions?
You hinted at an economic model, but you didn't share an economic.
The idea would be that the $10,000 would go to startup costs, so that would be mainly the materials, the wood, the various paying for an artist to outline it on the building, a carpenter to cut the pieces. And then the pieces would be sold to community members for $200 each. And $100 goes to the artist, $100 goes back into the revitalization project. That's all right.
Are there successful examples of this kind of mural art in Western Canada?
Yes. A puzzle mural, actually called a puzzle mural where the pieces fit together, is actually very rare. But there's lots of murals that are done in squares that have an image within the image. So you have a large image, and that's what this is going to be. But it's very rare as a puzzle mural where the pieces are different sizes and shapes.
So are people supposed to have their names on the square?
People will have their names on the pieces. Yes, they're all numbered, and there will be a plaque, a commemorative plaque that will be. The numbers will show who bought the piece. So if you bought piece 1, your name would be beside, as well as the artist who collaborated with you and did that with you.
You know, the individual artists expected to create their own individual piece of art, see what it looks like put together, or are you guiding them based on this template?
I'm guiding them in terms of the color, in terms of the actual shapes that do need to be on the pieces. But as far as what's going to be on the piece, like the image within the image, it will be up to the artist and the purchaser to decide that. So they will have a creative input into the piece, yes.
Any artists I know echo that line that my daughter used to use, which is, "You're not the boss of me."
Right.
They hire good artists to hold the line.
And I'm one of those. Yeah. Yeah.
How large is it?
It's 13 feet tall and 10 feet wide.
Is it vandal proof?
The ferreting that we're going to use will provide a protection for weather as well as vandalism. I mean, we can't prevent all vandalism, obviously, but yes, it should be well protected by the time we are finished. Yes, yeah. And that part of the library doesn't tend to have any vandalism on it, so it's on the grass. So it tends, for some reason, it tends to be very clean. So hopefully that'll remain the way it is once we have the mural on the wall.
Do you have an existing sponsorship already for this?
No, we're just actually starting, and let's make a pitch came out. So here we are. We are definitely going to be seeking sponsors and possibly grant funding if we need to. But we're just getting off the ground now.
And how many potential artists?
Well, there's 130 pieces, so 130 artists could take part. And And
Over to you, Bert. You're not paying me. Brett, you want to do one? I'll do one.
And really, artists of all abilities can take part, so you really could. There are certain pieces on the mural that are not as difficult as others. Like there's one in the sky that can be done by
Pure cloud.
a pure cloud.
All of those already. I'm the engineer, not an artist. All right, I have another question.
Okay,
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. And our next group to make a pitch is Hope Bridges.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sheila Conchu, and I am the chairperson of Hope Bridges Society. It's actually a society that works within the town of Strathmore and also the entire country we live in. So I'm here tonight to pitch the idea of a project that will revitalize the already wonderfully connected and spirited community that we have here in terms of volunteerism and spirit of community. It'll also beautify our outdoor space and will hopefully spark tourism for our town as well. First, for those of you who are not familiar with Hope Bridges, I just want to tell you a little bit about it. We are an arts-based organization, but there is a difference to our organization, and that is that we use the arts as a tool. So everything we do has a very high standard of excellence. We partner with wonderful artists to help us with our projects and throughout all of our goals, but the art is actually not the goal. The art is the tool, and people are at the root of everything we do. So really, we use the art to help people connect, and when people connect, their quality of life improves. And the other difference about what we do is that we invite people to participate, particularly people that are in danger of being isolated or lonely because of their diverse needs. So we're really proud of that, and we're really grounded in those values. So the idea that I'm going to pitch is very strongly rooted in those values. Our project, called Quilt the Town, is a way of turning Strathmore into an art gallery. We'd like to lead our town in joining what is known as the barn quilt movement, and this exists in a very strong way in Ontario and throughout the States. And what we hope to do is to gather groups of people here in our town, churches, schools, community groups, nonprofits, the chamber, our town council. Everyone can participate in creating a painted quilt board or a barn quilt. I have an example of it here. Hopefully you can see it. There's a few examples actually. So we think it'll be fun for groups to really come together, first to plan and map out, actually do the painting, similar to the former project, do the painting, and then be able to mount these beautiful, bold pieces of art on buildings throughout our town. And of course, we know it's very, very important to make sure that buildings that border the highway have these pieces of art displayed there, because we know that 15,000 cars every day pass through this town. So that's a lot of people that could be looking at these wonderful pieces of art and thinking about stopping and coming into our town. That's the way we hope this project will spark tourism. The boards are typically done on 5x5, sometimes 4x8, although they can be adapted for particular locations. It's a really super simple way to create a beautiful piece of art. We think that the barn quills can be displayed for all of our guest rodeo events, our sports events, excuse me, during our Heritage Days rodeo and festivities, and right through to our arts and cultural activities that we're now planning for the end of September. Because they're mounted high on buildings, there's very little chance of vandalism, so that's a bonus. And if they are put away for the winter time, they're flat and easy to store, so they can be tucked away, no problem. Although I would love to see them up for the whole year round. I think that would be wonderful. Also, because they're mounted high up on buildings, they're visible from a distance. So this quilt that I brought tonight for a bit of inspiration is actually a quilt that my dearest friend made me for my 50th birthday. I'm saying that out loud here tonight. Although she didn't give it to me until I was 52. And that's a story I'll not tell you about. But it does mean a lot to me. And I wanted to talk about that. The fact that quilts symbolize comfort and connection. And of course, in the past, they were often produced by groups of people who came together to work on them. But I think we all know it probably wasn't just about producing the quilt, it was about supporting one another. Which leads me to my next point. I think if we get behind a project like this, we can really revitalize that spirit of connection. So Hope Bridges is really already grounded in that spirit of connection. We really know that when we bring people together to focus on something creative and tangible, and we work together, we get to know one another. When we really are in the company of one another, we form friendships and we learn about each other, and wonderful things happen. Often grassroots movements start out of those moments. So we would love to see this kind of connection happening around making some meaningful art in this community. So that's really my pitch. I'd like to fill the town.
Very admirable. What's the use of funds? $10,000 at the pitch. What do you do?
So it's very inexpensive to produce these boards. A piece of plywood is the best piece of plywood that I can price out is about $50. The paint will vary from about $50 to $250, depending on the complexity of the pattern, including the paraffin and the mounting. We think the maximum amount of money it will take to produce a larger board would be $250 to $300. So the goal would be to use the $10,000 to produce the maximum amount of quilt boards to really cover the town and make it an interesting trail for people to follow. As well, we like to incorporate some funding for an artist facilitator to work with our groups, because we'd like there to be some quality control and some collaboration and facilitation to make sure that we make the most of this project. For instance, there is the heritage aspect to quilts, and there's the importance of planting bold, beautiful colors.
Are they meant to be illuminated and all? And what about the weather? It's rain, it's nice.
They can be illuminated, and they have been at times. In Ontario, there's a beautiful quilt trail that is out in the country, and they're not illuminated, they're on barns. but they can be eliminated depending on the building that they're mounted on, and they can be mounted on wood, metal, and siding.
Do you have any commitment for space on buildings so far?
No, because I wrote this pitch on Monday night, to be honest. But I spoke the town out, we spoke the town out, and there's lots of wonderful places. There's tons of places in this town.
By comparables, you talked about it in Ontario. Are there one or two or three communities that have taken on this idea of the town?
Not this idea specifically. We're calling it Quilt the Town, the idea of creating a gallery. But in Ontario, actually the quilt trails tell the story of the history of certain communities. For example, there's a Mennonite community that has mapped out all the important places in their community. And you can actually go on the computer, hit one of those little quilts, and up pops the history of that farm or the history of that family. And we were thinking that this could be on an app for people so that when they drive into town, they could be learning about the quilts that we have in our gallery space. There's all kinds of potential for something like this. And as well to expand to the county Wheatland, out to Rosebud, all the wonderful trails that we already have in this community.
And the weather issue?
Sorry, I didn't answer that question. The weather issue is not a problem. There's wonderful materials. Actually, we would use outdoor paint, and then we would use the Vera paint it's like a sealant. Yes, it's very sturdy. Really, on all of the other quilt trails, they've stayed up all year round.
These are fabric quilts, is that
No,
right?
they're done on boards.
Oh, I see.
They're done on plywood, like
Oh, I see.
high quality for plywood.
They look like fabric quilts.
That's the amazing thing about them. In some cases, really intricate quilts from a person's family heritage has been reproduced with paint.
I see.
Have you done quilting before, Rosa?
I did actually. I quilted.
You seem to be so familiar.
I quilted the Empire State Building. Three-dimensional.
How long do the quilts last typically, like the ones in Ontario? Do you have any knowledge of that?
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. But the movement in Ontario started around the year 2000. It's existed much longer in the States.
Well, it certainly keeps grandmas off the street. I'm in favor of that. You just never know what kind of trouble they're going to get in. Now, you're making fun of that point, but really, I think where you're headed with this is something that people of all ages, families, absolutely anybody can participate in. It's not the finicky detail.
No, that's the cool thing about it. I think quilting is actually quite hard. But if you have lateral movement, that's all you need to participate in this activity. There's various stages. There's the sanding, the preparation, the base coat, the mapping. The math people, the science people can get into it, people that love to do the detail. But for us, it's about the people getting together. That's the main thing, is that we're bringing people together. That's what matters to help bridges the most.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We promised a short introduction here, 15 minutes, so, and this is Town of Strathmore open house, spring open house. It's time for us to visit for 15 minutes. It gives the judges a few moments to discuss what they've already heard. 15 minutes. We have 3 more presenters, and at the end of the 6th presenter, the judges will get together and they will declare the group that has been successful. So, the next group up is the Strathmore Ag Society.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen and judges. We are presenting on behalf of Strathmore District Agricultural Society. My name is Kendra Calder, and this is Megan Bennett.
The town of Strathmore and surrounding areas are growing rapidly, thus increasing our ecological footprint drastically. Many community residents do not see the future implications that coincide with a growing town. Don't get me wrong, growth and development leads to more community success, but it is all about the bottom line, and is that all we're concerned about? This is where we change the mindset and create a new vision that still allows for community growth while keeping in mind the importance of our future.
We live in a fast-paced world, and if we can get through the day, we think we've done a really good job. Many other features of our surroundings are simply overlooked. No one really thinks about how big of a footprint they leave on the environment each and every day. Who really has the time to incorporate something like that into their life? Well, what if it was easier, interactive, engaging, and most of all, fun? I would like to pose to you sustainable.
Sustainable is an engaging event that promotes environmental awareness in a festival atmosphere and proposes a new spin on an educational learning experience. This is Canada's first green carnival. Sustainable's vision screams out passion and energy to make the world a better place. This is their vision. Sustainable exists to inspire people about our awesome future. We show the world what's possible for the sustainability of our lives, families, and communities. With that in mind, they use a multitude of educational platforms to showcase how everyone, from each individual to large corporations, can become more sustainable. Along with the very popular crowd-pleasing biofueled midway, they have many other attractions, such as the Harvest Festival, a kinetic stage, experience pavilions that incorporate themes such as energy, water, waste management, reclamation, and biodiversity. They also have an eco-science fair and a community engaging challenges that serves as an amazing race eco challenge. The Strathmore District Agricultural Society welcomes the opportunity to engage community partners to bring this amazing event to Southern Alberta for the first time in the fall of 2015. We are passionate about sustainability practices and would like to engage our community in what we feel is an amazing event. As a non-profit organization that promotes agriculture, recreation, and social activities, with support to more than 30 non-profit groups and programs in our community, a collaboration with Sustainable couldn't be more perfect. We chose to pursue Sustainable as it is an event that provides a remarkable opportunity to engage, educate, and entertain all members of our community. This fulfills our vision as a year-round community provider and promoter of agriculture and recreational experiences, and our mission as an organization dedicated to connecting community and enriching lives. The combination of Sustainable's future sustainability aspirations and the Strathmore District Agricultural Society's focus on fostering sustainability within our community through education will deem to be a powerful partnership. We want to utilize an educational platform each year to expand the knowledge of youth, residents, business owners, and even larger corporations towards leading a clean, sustainable life. This will be a stepping stone to motivate our community to be more environmentally conscious. Once they see what you are able to do with the clean resources and clean technologies, the application into their own lives will be that much smoother. We want Sustainable to be an eye-opener and a gateway to showcase how easy it is to adapt to clean technologies and create a more sustainable, eco-friendly footprint. Creating an event that exudes that much energy and positivity while incorporating a unique style of learning, it's hard not to attract the whole community, businesses, the agricultural industry, and even surrounding schools.
The Strathmore District Agricultural Society's definition of sustainability is securing a clean and healthy future for ourselves, our communities, and in turn, our world. Bringing the ingenuity and uniqueness of Sustainable to the community is the start to making a difference towards our sustainable future. This is an opportunity to help improve the lives of many, and our success with this endeavor will bring about happiness and pride within our community. Let's not pass this up.
So you're proposing, I think, something like a farm show or a car show or a home show, that you're going to focus on sustainable products, sustainable processes, sustainable businesses. Tell me a little bit more about it. I kind of missed where you want to go with that. You get the concept of a festival,
So sustainable is the main attraction is the midway, and that's what attracts kids and pretty much all ages. And then they base themselves on an educational platform, and their main, I guess, vision is to put across how easy it is to become sustainable with everyday life. So
Does this being run sort of as a one-day show, 3-day part of like an egg fest and egg fair, or?
Yeah, it's a 3 to 5 day event.
And is this existing already? Is this what you're like? You're taking this Midway Festival concept and just renting it?
Yeah, we want to bring it here.
You want to bring it here? Where does it exist now?
It's based at Edmonton and Fort McMurray.
Okay.
And they would like to partner with rural communities, and they would like to gear their festival, their sustainable, to an agricultural rural society. And that's why we would like them to come to Strathmore.
Is this something that you have to license or buy? Where's the money go? What happens? How do you use the funds?
So this would be a stepping stone or a foot in the door to look at other venues or other access to who we partner with, and just a stepping stone is what this was.
The project itself in its entirety is approximately $150,000. What the town of Strathmore, the community, will get from the sustainable is ideas and knowledge to help our lives become better. And we want to ensure that the environment and the world we leave behind is something that the future generations will not have to suffer or be deprived of because we have utilized all the natural resources. So it's a start. We know that we will be doing funding. We will be tackling all areas of the government to secure funds to help us. And we will be partnering with different companies who have the same vision we do.
So once it gets started and it helps financing to get it going, will it sustain itself as far as admission sales and things like that?
That is the goal of sustainable,
Okay.
yes.
And would you tie it along to any other existing functions?
I think sustainable will stand alone. We have other functions that happen throughout the year, but sustainable, I think it needs to be on its own because it is something fantastic. You're going to see rides that are powered by solar, by byproducts of cooking oil. This is exciting to see the kids come in. They can view this, their parents can view this, and then they can look at for their educational platforms. I think it's just an opportunity to open up a few eyes, and I bet you there's going to be somebody out there who comes up with something that we'll be able to use.
This hasn't really been tested in a small community yet, but is it a proven model in the big cities?
Yes.
What kind of numbers are they generating? Do you have a sense of that? That's right. Just give us a bit of background. And this is invented, created, started in the last year or two. Or it's only been run once.
Yeah, 2011 is when it all started out. It's been taking a couple of years just to form in Edmonton, and then they wanted to come themselves as well. Kind of like work with the rural communities and big cities.
So it's much more proven as a model than just a grassroots or greenfield idea.
Megan has already been in contact with them and has discussed the opportunities for them to come to rural Alberta and bring sustainable with them.
Have you been to one of the sustainables? You just rely kind of on what's online?
What were you guys thinking for admission costs for families and people?
That's what they would base it on. I know that sustainable is based on corporate sponsorships mostly. The other missions don't cover that much of it actually. So I'd say yeah, general grants and missions is what we go for.
How do you get an investment from them to come here? Do you have to put up some cash, or I would imagine they have to see a business model?
We would be working in partnership with Sustainable. They have indicated that they would like to partner with rural communities and that they would gear their carnival to our agricultural society down here. So they're going to make sure that their educational platforms target those areas. So we would be working in partnership with them. This is their idea, but we would be focusing on getting sponsorships.
Is this mostly indoors or outdoors? Is it a couple of tents? Is it meant to be in the...
It comes in different, some will be outdoors, obviously the rides will be outdoors. The educational platforms would be indoors, but that's for the Agricultural Society. We have the infrastructure in place already with our structures out here on the grounds.
Can you incorporate running on the post?
I'm not sure where we can use some of that.
So I have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our next group to do a presentation, I've got it listed as the Downtown Review Committee. I do believe it should be listed as the Downtown Revitalization Committee. Thank you. The Downtown Revitalization Committee, ladies and gentlemen.
What could be better and more community-oriented than taking the family downtown on a Saturday morning to go to the farmer's market? Fresh veggies, connection with people who produce the food that we eat, and have a good opportunity for family. And now that you're downtown, maybe you'd like to take a stroll up 2nd Avenue. Stop in at a bakery for a freshly baked bun. Stop and have an ice cream cone, grab a coffee, sit on one of our new outdoor corner patios. Or visit the Oasis, the little Heritage Times Square, our urban park. But what makes this possible? A new permanent structure for the farmers market and many other fabulous community events located in the downtown of Strathmore. Good evening, my name is Pat Maloney. I've been working on the Downtown Revitalization Project for almost a year now, and I'm representing the Downtown Design Review Committee and the Downtown Revitalization Project in their pitch for a downtown farmers market building. The project is to construct a permanent structure for a downtown farmers market, ultimately phased development. We would start with the frame that you see in the sketches that I've handed out, covered, solid floor, and ultimately we would like to add washrooms, a kitchen, walls, and potentially expand the structure to double the size in the future. So what are the opportunities for this structure? It can handle multiple uses. It would be designed for the farmers market, but it can be used for a year-round structure to facilitate skating parties, New Year's Eve parties, outdoor theater. It could be used for arts and sounds in the park. It could be used for a multitude of community events. It supports the downtown revitalization plan. It provides a focal point and an anchor on the east part of the downtown. It encourages more people to come downtown. It supports local businesses, and we're doing so many things to promote the downtown right now. In 2014, the town will see capital improvements such as our portal patios, seating, bike racks, planters, and other private investment, which we're so thrilled to see in the downtown, including the renovation of some of our historic buildings. And this farmers market will bring the people downtown to see these new improvements. It brings a new reason to be downtown. It doesn't compete with the Friday night farmers market at the Ag Grounds. We already have several vendors who want to start a farmers market downtown on Saturday. We believe it supports the rural area. It partnerships and has local involvement. There are many groups who use the structure and partner in the development, either through labor or supplies, donations, money. This makes better use of a currently underutilized section of the park and an existing parking area. It supports the agricultural theme of the town, and the land is currently owned by the town of Strathmore, and we believe it will encourage tourism. How does it fit into the criteria for Make a Pitch? Community enhancements, we believe it creates an asset for the town. It's investing in park space. It provides a structure, provides a location for multiple events, and supports community activities. Revitalization. It uses the principles of downtown revitalization. This structure will bring more people into the downtown. The more people in the downtown, the more activity, the more economic development, the safer the downtown. And it encourages people to expand their knowledge of the downtown. And sustainability, we believe this provides a structure with multiple uses. It supports agriculture and arts and crafts, and the arts and crafts communities in town, and encourages year-round use. It also provides for a farmer's market where kids actually understand where their food comes from. We have worked with a number of volunteers. We've had volunteer time donated for our draftsman, Greg Stanley, who's prepared the sketches, Brandon Hapes, who's done the mock-up of our brochure. We have Glenn Freeland, Robert Breitmeister, Talissa Talbot, Betty Ann Fountain, Linda Nelson, Bob Sobel, Pat Fuel, Werner Fisher, Basil Dwyer. All these people have been working very hard to put this pitch together and to come up with this idea for this building. Financially, we're estimating at this time that the building will be about $75 a square foot to build. That is the concrete foundation, the roof, the trusses. It doesn't include the walls. It doesn't include the washroom and kitchen at this point. So we're looking at about $225,000 for the building. What we're anticipating as our business plan is we're looking at a combination of grants, donations, time in kind. When everything is all ready, it could almost be like an old-time fundraising and get this building built. The town's willing to provide the land. There's already an area that was used for parking before, and so we think we've got a situation where we've already got a parking area, we've got a building, spot location, and the $10,000 will be used to prep the site. And that's my pitch.
So the $10,000 to build the foundation first?
It would prep the site for it, yes. And in the meantime, we would be getting the donations of materials, operating grants, or not operating grants, capital grants we would be applying for to actually get the structure ready.
Once it's built, I assume you've got a business model now where you're charging for rent, stalls, and so it's self-sustaining, or does it create a profit, or does it need to be subsidized?
If once the building is built, we believe it will be self-sustaining. May turn a bit of a profit. We would love to be able to start a bit of a bank account, because if it wants expansion, we need to have some more startup money for that. Unless we can come back every year for a pitch, but I think there's going to be a lineup. So yeah, that's right. So I think we do have a model that the stalls, the rental of the stalls, and then other outdoor uses around the area would pay for.
And one more question for me. In terms of the farmers market, is that June, July, August, September? Can you extend it a little more? What do you think? I don't know what outdoor farmers markets get away with in our climate.
With a roof over their head, we could very well go from May to October. Without a roof, it's pretty tough. And then as things continue, we'd love to be able to put walls in there. We'd love to be able to make it even more year-round. Christmas craft fair, doing things like that. If you go down to Spruce Meadows for their Christmas craft fair, it's in all of their barns and stables and everything, and they put up tents, and it's in the winter, and they do a wonderful job of it. We think that we can do that here as well.
Does it include electrical, or is this just really a shelter?
Where we do want to extend electrical in the park. There's definitely demand for more electrical services. There are public washrooms in the park now. but we would like also to put those in at a later date. But right now, the town is looking at extending and increasing the electrical service to the park.
The parking, is there, or is this just meant to be, is it going to be a paved parking area, or a gravel parking area, or is there any parking area at all?
Right now, it's just a parking area. I believe that it would be gravel. We wouldn't look at pavement right away, but that would obviously be something we would look at in the future. There is an access off of Center Street now to get to this site, so it's there.
Great presentation. A lot of some questions about electricity and things like that and parking. Is there, like, for say it's costing 25 to get this going, is there like phase 1, phase 2, where say if you make $100,000 mark as far as raising funds, that you would build a structure and that you would do additional things as you go?
I don't know how we can phase the building. I mean, right now we've got a 30 by 100 feet. I suppose we could do 30 by 50 if we could do it for that amount of money and expand that later, and then do kitchen and washrooms, and then possibly, you know, mirror it, do another 30 by 100 in the long term. I mean, one of my favorite farmers markets was actually when the Blackfoot Farmers Market went to Curry Barracks, and it was great, and it was fantastic, and it had such a wide variety of arts and crafts and food products, and that's the kind of farmers market that would be really great to see here, because this area, both the county and the town, have just amazing skill sets, and it would be great to be able to have a central location for them.
I don't know the downtown well enough to judge the location, but have you tested every possible location in terms of the downtown? I feel this is the best.
There really isn't another location in the downtown. And the Kinsman Park area is definitely a gathering place. In the winter, there's skating. In the summer, there's festivals and events. The town has a number of family day. They do a number of events in Kinsman Park. So it's quite a social and community focal point.
Folks here don't have the benefit of a picture map that we've got just sitting here, but I couldn't help but wonder why you wouldn't keep the structure closer to this large parking lot.
And it may very well, if you can see where the sort of the dirt parking area is on the yeah. So we were kind of thinking that that's really not that far. It's really not that far to walk. And to tell you the truth, when we thought we were looking at a 30 by 100 foot building, that sounded awfully big. And then we put it on the map and went, that's really small. So then we're flexible there. There is a development being proposed close to that parking area. So we wanted to make sure there was some separation between the private development and this public facility.
Does it require a development permit, or is it just?
Oh, it will. Even the town has to apply for development permits. No, it will, and it will go through the normal process to get it installed. But it is on town.
We get it approved tonight, right?
I think we have a farm here.
What's holding up an approval? This isn't a difficult one to approve, is it, right? It'll be easy. Here's the word here. Again, this is about community. Can't imagine something easier to approve. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have one last presenter. The presenter to make a pitch is Friends of Brentwood School.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Lostra, and this is Dr. Ben Sager. We are from Friends of Brentwood Society. We are a group of parent volunteers that work together to provide opportunities for individuals, corporations, and other groups to support children's education by financing special programs, activities, projects, and equipment to enhance education at Brentwood Elementary. Currently, we are in the planning stages for improving the grounds at Brentwood School. The development includes adding additional playground structures, adding a sprint track, and developing a naturalized area with trees and native plants. If you look at the satellite picture that we have given, it outlines all existing structures and areas that are being improved in this multi-stage project. We have also included on the iPad panoramic pictures of the grounds to allow for a better idea of the development that will occur. There are many different views, including in front of the school, to show how the improvements are much needed. Today, I would like to explore our naturalization project to explain some of the benefits a project of this kind can bring to the school, surrounding community, and town of Strathmore. This will most likely be a multi-stage project, needing at least 2 seasons to fully complete due to the variable climate conditions of Strathmore. If we look at the satellite and panoramic images of Brentwood School, it is a school built in the 1980s that lacks character. Sorry, Mrs. Huntley. It's a building, not a school. Before the sign was installed, many people would drive by, not realizing that this building was a school. Brentwood is surrounded by smaller single-family homes that lack outdoor space, making the ground perfect for urban naturalization. When we look at the panoramic view at Brentwood School grounds, much of the grounds are underutilized. In the far northwest corner of the school grounds, there is a perfect area for naturalization and possibly even an outdoor classroom. This location selected is easily assessed by members of the community.
Plans of the naturalization will include trees and shrubs native to Alberta. This will reduce the need for replanting, be of lower cost, and require less ongoing maintenance. We will seek expert assistance in planning the installation. We plan to build raised garden spaces that will grow fruits, vegetables, and flowers. The garden space will be an area particularly valuable for our students and teachers to learn about the science of plants and food. In the naturalized area, there will be benches and a picnic table to be used by all community members. There will be a short walking trail, and plans for an interpretive sign trail can be incorporated in time. Vegetation will be non-toxic, low maintenance, will collect water through rain barrels. Well, why are we doing this at Brentwood? You know, what's the science, what's the research showing us about this type of project? Well, outdoor naturalization has many health benefits for children and for all members of our community. It produces feelings of peace, self-control, self-discipline, allows for a common ground for generational mixing, and greater empathy for people. It motivates people to be more physically active, of course, and keeping active for life. It enhances their self-esteem, self-confidence, independence, and autonomy. It allows and encourages input from all the community members who will use this park, and it'll be their park to build and to love for all the people in the Brentwood area. As you can see, the Friends of Brentwood has just started our journey in creating the school grounds that will be used and loved by many. Currently, work is being put into completion of grant paperwork to supplement our fundraising efforts. Friends of Brentwood is committed and responsible for all aspects of planning, fundraising, and volunteer recruitment to make this a go. Our dedicated bunch will ensure sustainability and growth of this project for years to come. The town of Strathmore and its residents stands to benefit from this without having to spend any of its own resources. With our assistance, we can kickstart this campaign and start to build something special for Strathmore. We'd love for you to contribute and be part of our exciting journey in beautifying our Brentwood school grounds. And personally, it would mean much for the work of our parents on our council and for our kids if you could support our grant application. Thanks for allowing us to participate, and let's make a pitch.
Focus of today's pitch was the naturalization. What do you think the total cost of that be? I know the 10,000 goes towards it,
Yeah.
but is there a lot of volunteer labor coming from that? This is Henley, was it? Henley?
This is Huntley.
This is
Just gonna do it over again. We are
Parents, teachers, kids.
definitely.
All
We are going to be looking at, we have a great base of students and parents that will be willing to help with the development of it. We're probably looking at about 35 to 40,000 total to put in the starting infrastructure, the paths, the raised gardens, and to start planning towards the planting of big trees, berry plants, and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll probably first season, we'll be looking at doing more of the infrastructure part of it, you know, doing the landscaping, getting everything ready for planting. And lots of volunteers. We'll also be looking at, you know, community partnerships and communities in bloom possibly, and other foundations and community support to further our fundraising efforts.
What's in the area of the naturalizer? What is it?
Currently?
Yeah.
Currently, it's a plot of grass. It's an open canvas.
So what are you proposing exactly?
Well, I think that there's going to have to be some, you know, backfill and dirt brought into the surface to make, you know, different levels, trails, trees, planters and whatnot. So there will be having to be a lot of landscape development initially in that area.
What's the parkette? Is that basically?
Yeah, it's going to be an open park, relaxation area, a peaceful area for reflection.
I've got a question for you, Ben. What about a couple of pickleball courts in plans for that? I sure a couple of ones home there, so to speak.
We discourage pickleball. But we really encourage running at Brentwood School. There's a lot of the people in the community know. And in fact, we are looking at putting a track in. We're not sure what that's going to look like because it's expensive. That's separate from this program, but we've got such a large school ground there that we can use for a lot of different ideas if you look at the overall blueprint.
Have you guys raised any money currently so far?
We have had a casino 3 years ago, and we've used a lot of that money for playgrounds and other structures. We have another casino coming up in October, and we have ongoing fundraising opportunities and plans in mix as we speak.
How long do you think it would take to raise the balance of money, which is 30,000?
So currently we have the 30,000 or 35,000 is not only the supplies but the labor included. And so if we were able to get some volunteer helpers, people that were able to bring in dirt and whatnot, those costs would then be reduced. I'm hopeful that by spring next year we can be breaking ground and starting the project.
So I know.
Good presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you to our students at Brentwood.
Thank you to all groups that made presentations tonight.
that made their pitches. You know, when you see and listen to the pitches that are being made, you realize that we have an interest in our community, we have an excitement, and we want to go forward. And what I saw tonight was totally tremendous. There's something that happened this evening that I want to share, and I'm going to do that in just a second. But I want to thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you very much for coming out. And I want to thank our judges for their time. And I want to thank particularly the groups for your presentations. And I'll thank the sponsors, Chinook Credit Union, Mr. Reckles and Mr. Ron Renault, Ms. Bernice Bland, Mr. Dwight Stanford, Mr. Alberta, Dr. Patel, the Strathmore Times, Mr. Reg McCrae, Epcor, Magnum Cement Services, Sobeys, Talisman Energy, and the Town of Strathmore. And in particular, I would like to thank three Town of Strathmore employees, Jennifer Sawatsky, Jennifer Cuthbertson, and Deborah Hemrick. These three have been very, very involved, and they have the regular duties, and then they have this task put on top of them at the same time. Thank you, everyone, very much for all of this. And while I'm talking, I hope the judges are deliberated in regards to who they're choosing.
We're coming back tomorrow night at the same time.
We have time. But I wanted to say just how inspiring this evening has been. A wonderful opportunity to showcase our creativity, our commitment, and the vibrancy in our community occurred here tonight. And perhaps the success of this evening can best be demonstrated by announcing an amazing offer we just received. The prominent Strathmore businessmen, Peter and Lackey, of the Roadhouse, the station, and the Travel Lodge, have offered to host this event at the Travel Lodge next year. On behalf of the Town of Strathmore, I gratefully accept your offer. Thank you. And Honorable Jason Hale is also going to be making a presentation with a plaque to the successful group tonight. So, Jason, if you want to come up, because have you guys no? How much time do you? A couple minutes. Plus all the group will just take these off. So we can't hear it. You don't hear it otherwise, huh?
First of all three of us were moved by what we call commitment to community. Being here tonight tells us that you're as in love with Strathmore as clearly each of us are, and that's probably one of the most fundamental building blocks of community is pride. And when you do the kind of work you did tonight, the pitches tonight, they were, some were a little more polished than others, didn't much matter, but they showed pride in why they were here. They were here to raise and build the profile of the great little community. We have trouble criticizing any of the pitches, but one that stood out for each of us, one of the ones that stood out for each of us, we're going to bring up quite simply, just call a spade a spade. I guess each have a couple of words to come with. But would Hope Bridges and the quilt please come forward? Now, one thing we want to point out is that neither Bert or Ron or I have signing authority at the town. I suspect Dwight will reinforce that point for someone. So we really do need the mayor's signature on this for it to be a qualifying check. So the mayor would come up and please join us in this picture taking. Give an autograph. Yeah, look at that. It's now worth $10,000. We're going to line up again. One more behind you. Thank you for what you're doing. Keep it up. Those
Honorable Jason Hale is going to do a presentation also.
Where's Jason?
Oh, thank you. I would just like to present you with a little plaque for your achievement. It's every picture here tonight was great, and I hope you all continue on with your dream of fulfilling that idea. It'll do wonders for the town and the community. So congratulations to everyone for taking that initiative, and special congratulations to you for winning. Thank you.
We're not done. In the context of sort of spirit of community, we had trouble saying no to another project. So what we're going to do is each of us are going to empty out $5,000 towards the farmers market as founding sponsors with a condition. The community's got to find 7 more. So a total of 10, what we're going to call founding sponsors, each at $5,000, and you've got until the end of September to do that. So the challenge is that.
Great project. It will help revitalize the downtown. It will be that seed that starts it all over again. That'll be good.
Bird, did you have anything else you want to say then? Oh, and you're the one member of this
So it's really nice to meet you guys, and I just want to thank you guys for coming out to our community. I mean, I'm actually living here, and I was really impressed with meeting with you guys back there. And I just want to say that these guys are really committed to this community, and you guys have some exciting projects going on the outskirts of town, and that's not for free for downtown. And that's recognized by all 3 of us. So I'm really flattered that we're doing this, and I think that's a great opportunity for this town. Thank you.
I don't know what to add. We've been in Strathmore building the ranch market, and now Edgefield. The support we've had here has been phenomenal. All the open houses we had initially were amazing. We're in a couple of communities where it's not quite so amazing. So there's really quite a community spirit here. We think that's going to translate into a spectacular city at some point in time. I don't want it to be that big, but I can see that happening. It's the reception we've got has been amazing. All of the merchants that we've been in contact with in the downtown have been supportive. And the new merchants who are here are welcoming Strathmore with open arms. They're really, really excited to be here. We're glad to be part of the community.
So just to wrap, Dwight and the mayor and other members of council have heard this pitch, so has Jason. And people make a community, not buildings, not structures, not roads, but people. And it's up to you to take the initiative. I challenged, I've been out to several of the Chamber of Commerce meetings here. People said, well, there's hardly anybody here. So why don't each of you who are here today commit to bring 1 more person next time? Guess what? You'll double the number of people that are here. Pretty simple. But that's the pressure. You've got to build it from within. If you can't show pride, and commitment, and interest, and enthusiasm for the community you're living in, no one's going to do it for you. Pretty simple. You've got to plant those seeds of excitement, those seeds of the future of Strathmore. We're going to be part of it, but we can't be all of it. But I encourage you when the opportunity comes. Vote when you can vote, participate when you can participate. Every one of you can do a little more than you are. Every one of you can do a little more than you are. And do it for Strathmore, and guess who wins? We all do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, judges. If you wish, have another cookie, have something to drink.